यस्य रूपमधिकम् प्रच्छन्नगुप्तं धनम् विद्या भोगकरी यशः सुखकरी विद्या गुरुणा गुरुः विद्या बन्धुजनो विदेशगमने विद्या परं दैवतम् विद्या राजसु पूज्यते न तु धनम् विद्या विहीनः पशुः विद्या प्रशस्यते लोकैः विद्या सर्वत्र गौरवा विद्यया लभते सर्वम् विद्वान् सर्वत्र पूज्यते ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते।
Dr. Sandeep Popat Shinde is an accomplished academician and researcher who has a lot of expertise in the field of chemistry. He holds a PhD in chemistry, which he obtained in April 2015 under the guidance of Dr. D.H. Dagade. His doctoral research, titled Thermodynamic Studies of Molecular Interactions in Aqueous Solutions Containing Ionic Liquids and Polyethylene Glycols, focused on exploring the cosmotropic and chaotropic effects of solutes, particularly their impact on water structure and biomolecular stability. Dr. Shinde also possesses a Bachelor's in Science degree in Chemistry and a Master's in Science degree in Physical Chemistry. Further demonstrating his academic prowess, he successfully cleared Maharashtra's State Eligibility Test (SET) in September 2015. Since September 13, 2019, Dr. Shinde has been serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at PTVS Sathe College. He has a teaching experience of over a decade, guiding both undergraduate and postgraduate students, and has actively contributed to the advancement of scientific knowledge. Dr. Shinde has authored 8 research papers published in reputed international journals with an H index of 5 and 147 citations as per ResearchGate. His research spans across ionic liquids, solute interactions, nanomaterials, and spectroscopic studies. Additionally, he has published 4 book chapters and served as an editor of 3 books. Dr. Shinde is a lifetime member of the Indian Thermodynamic Society and the Indian Science Congress. His dedication extends beyond academics as he has taken up significant administrative roles, including being the nodal officer for Academic Bank Credits ABC and a member of the NEP 2020 Implementation Core Committee. He has worked in various college committees and also coordinated workshops conducted by the MMTTC and the University of Mumbai in coordination with Sathe College for Science Teachers under the Board of Studies of the University of Mumbai and the NEP 2020 sensitization for the implementation of NEP 2020 in colleges in the year 2024. Dr. Shinde's commitment to education and research is reflected in his extensive participation in conferences, webinars, and guest lectures, along with his mentorship of students through industrial visits and innovative learning experiences. His achievements include receiving the Junior Research Fellowship UGC BSR for meritorious scholars from 2012 to 2014. Let's welcome Vidya Vachaspati, Dr. Sandeep Popat Shinde.
Hello, I am Dr. Sandeep Shinde. I am working as an assistant professor in chemistry in Sathe College. I did my PhD entitled Thermodynamic Studies of Molecular Interactions in Aqueous Solutions Containing Ionic Liquids and Polyethylene Glycols. I did my PhD under the guidance of Dr. Dilip Dagde, Professor in Department of Chemistry, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. My thesis is subdivided into 6 chapters. Chapter 1 is about the introduction. Chapter 2 is experimental techniques used in the experiments. Chapter 3 is density and sound speed study of hydration of 1-butyl-3-methyl imidazolium based amino acid ionic liquids in aqueous solutions. Chapter 4 is osmotic and activity coefficient for binary aqueous solutions of 1-butyl-3-methyl imidazolium based amino acid ionic liquids at 298.15 Kelvin. Chapter 5th is volumetric studies of interactions of polyethylene glycol and amino acid ionic liquids in aqueous solutions at 298.15 Kelvin. And chapter 6 is based on the summary and conclusion. So in introduction, I am going to say that without water this is impossible to survive on the earth, and the properties of water as well as the structure of water is essential for the stability of biomolecules. So to know the effect of structure of water on the stability of biomolecules, you must know the physical properties of water. Some of the physical properties of water makes water as a universal solvent. These properties are latent heat of evaporation, high dielectric constant, density, large heat capacity. Because of these properties, the water become a universal solvent. Without water, this is impossible to survive on the earth. For the stability of biomolecules, there is a need to know about the non-covalent bonding interactions such as hydrogen bonding, Coulombic forces, van der Waals forces and hydrophobic interactions. Among the non-covalent bonding interactions, hydrophobic interactions plays important role. You can see the interaction between the hydrophobic group in presence of water is called as hydrophobic interactions, whereas some of the water molecules are added on the surface of the hydrophobic surface. This is called as hydrophobic hydration. As we know, the structure of water is essential for the stability of biomolecules. Different scientists did research and they tried to explain the theories for the explaining the structure of water. One of these theory is the continuum model theory, and second is the mixture model. In continuum model, they consider that water molecules are tetrahedrally bound with each other, whereas in mixture model they considered there is a breaking and making of a bond. So in tetrahedral concept, in continuum model, they are considering the stretching and bending is observed in the bonds, is observed in the hydrogen bonds, whereas in mixture model they consider the breaking and making of bonds. Because of breaking of a bond, there is a formation of dimer, tetramer or trimers are possible. This is explained with the help of a mixture model, whereas in continuum model they are considered the stretching and bending is possible in the bond. So because of that, there is a formation of a network, or there is a structuring is possible in the water, is explained with the help of a continuum model. For the understanding of effect of electrolyte on water, there is a need of theory. So Debye-Huckel theory is used to explain about the effect of ion on the structure of water. You can see here the ion get interact with the water, and because of the electrostatic interaction between the ion and water, water molecules orient around the ion in different sheets. First sheet is the hydration sheet. This is a primary sheet, primary cell sheet. Second is the secondary hydration sheet, in which hydrogen bonded network of water molecule present. Third is the C region, where the long range coupling interactions disturb the structure of water molecules. And region D, that is the last region, where the water molecules are behaving like a pure water. The de Broglie theory is used to understand the aqueous solutions of electrolytic solutions, but for non-electrolytic solutions, in non-electrolytes in aqueous solutions, there is specific theory was not there. So to explain the behavior of a non-electrolyte in the water or in aqueous medium, some of the scientists like Macmillan and Kirkwood-Buff, they wrote theories called as Macmillan-Meyer theory and Kirkwood-Buff theory respectively. So based on the interaction of ions with the water and the effect of ions on the structure of water, ions get categorized into two types. One is chaotropic ion and second is cosmotropic ions. The cosmotropic ions are water structure makers, whereas chaotropic ions are water structure breakers. The cosmotrophs are water structure breakers because of its small size, high charge density, as well as because of strong hydration. Whereas chaotrophs are larger in size, they have a low charge density and they have a weak hydration. Based on these interactions of ion with the water, the ions get categorized into these two types, and they are used for protein stabilization, protein destabilization, protein folding effect, protein solubilization, etc. So these generally ions are produced from electrolytes. Electrolytes means these are the salts which produces the ions. Now the salts, here we know that inorganic salts are there, as well as ionic liquids are also produced the ions. Then what is the difference between the inorganic salt and ionic liquids? So inorganic salts are generally they are solid at room temperature and they have higher melting points, whereas ionic liquids are liquid at room temperature, then we are calling this as room temperature ionic liquids. Generally the melting points of ionic liquids are below 100 degrees centigrade, so they are lower melting points, and the inorganic salts shows higher melting point because of its small size and high charge density. Because of high charge density, they bind strong, ions are strongly bind with each other, and because of strong hydrogen bonding, it requires higher energy for the breaking of this bond. Whereas in case of ionic liquids, they are the cations and anions which are used there, they are larger in size and they have a lower charge density. NaCl molecules or the inorganic salts, they are symmetric charge distribution is there in inorganic salts, whereas in case of organic liquids there is a asymmetric charge distribution is observed. So ionic liquids are more popular today because of properties such as lower vapor pressure, high polarity, high thermal stability, wide liquid range, wide electrochemical window, low melting point. Because of these physical properties, ionic liquids are popular today. So because of different physical properties of ionic liquids, they can be used in various applications such as biocatalytic reactions, as a biosensors, they can be used in biopreservation, they can be used in the material science, they can be used in the nanoscience, they can be used in the electrochemical sensors, they can be used in the storage devices, that is in batteries or in supercapacitors. Then they can be used for the stability of a biomolecules, for the stabilization of a biomolecules, for the solubilization of biomolecules, or for in the drug delivery also. They can be used in protein solubilization, stabilization or crystallization. So these are the various applications are available for the ionic liquids. So we choose these ionic liquids for my study. In our study, we used amino acid ionic liquids. Why we used amino acid ionic liquids? Because amino acid ionic liquids are biodegradable in nature as compared to the ionic liquids which are made up from the halides. We tried to replace the halide group with the amino group to increase the biodegradability, biocompatibility, and to decrease the toxicity. So we tried to increase the biodegradability of ionic liquids. That's why we used amino acid ionic liquids for our study. Along with amino acid ionic liquids, we used polyethylene glycol. As we know, polyethylene glycol is a polymer which contains hydrophilic terminal, that is OH minus group, whereas hydrophilic group, that is a CH2 or alkyl chain length is there. This acts as a hydrophobic in nature. This polyethylene glycol is used in pharmaceuticals, in cosmetics as well as in food applications. This polyethylene glycol is also used in the protein crystallization also. In our study, we used polyethylene glycol as a model system for the understanding of aqueous solutions of biopolymers through their structure in presence of a co-solute. So the aim and objective of my study is to study the aqueous solutions of amino acid ionic liquids to understand the effect of solute on the structure of water, determination of ion solvent ion-ion interactions to differentiate amino acid ionic liquids as a cosmotroph or cheotrophs by using density, speed of sound and osmotic coefficient data. The study of interaction between the amino acid ionic liquid and polyethylene glycol in aqueous solutions to understand the probable interactions between the biomolecules and in the aqueous electrolytic solutions. Chapter 2 is based on the experimental techniques. Here I am going to explain about the experimental techniques which are used there along with the material, that is synthesis of amino acid ionic liquids. This is the general procedure for the synthesis of 1-butyl-3-methyl-imidazolium based ionic liquids. First we prepared 1-butyl-3-methyl-imidazolium bromide. For that we have taken equimolar quantities of 1-methyl-imidazole and 1-bromobutane and used toluene as a solvent. We heated that reaction for 50 degrees centigrade for 14 hours, and after 14 hours we washed this toluene. After we rinsed the compound, final product with the ethyl acetate, and this final product was used for conversion into the hydroxide ions. So the Br minus ion of this imidazolium based ionic liquid was replaced with the OH minus ion by using ion exchange chromatography method, in which we used Umberlite IRA 400 Cl- resin. First we prepared that resin in the form of OH minus, then we replaced this OH minus with the Br minus of 1-butyl-3-methyl-imidazolium bromide, and we tried to convert our halide group into hydroxide group, and the hydroxide group which is observed there, this is neutralized with the amino acid, and by taking equimolar quantity of amino acid we neutralize this by simple neutralization method, and we prepared the amino acid ionic liquids. So this is the simple reaction which we did, but during the time of doing experiment we faced some challenges, and that challenges was during the synthesis of 1-butyl-3-methyl-imidazolium based ionic liquid, bromide ionic liquid, we found that after synthesis our compound was in the liquid state, whereas in the literature they are saying this is present in the solid state and the melting point is 72 degrees centigrade. Then why this happen? Because after synthesis we removed the toluene, but some sort of toluene traces are there in the compound, and because of that they are present in the viscous state. If we washed this toluene with the ethyl acetate, after removing traces of toluene, our compound is converted into solid form. So this was happened during the time of synthesis. Similarly, we thought that after conversion of Br minus into OH minus ion, that is simple formation of hydroxide was there. So base and amino acid as a acid, complete neutralization will occur. We are thinking like that. But what happened? During the time of conversion of amino acid from the Br minus to OH minus through the ion exchange chromatography column, we found that some amount of Br minus cannot be changed into OH minus ion. Some impurities are there, so we tried to remove that impurities, and after removing that impurities we did the pure ionic liquids. Then the challenge was how to detect which cations are present there in the mixture. So for the detection of that, what we did, we used simple knowledge of chemistry, in which we have determined the Br minus or Cl minus which are present in the sample with the help of AgNO3 test. But the question is, AgNO3 test shows a color for OH minus as well as for Cl minus ions. Then what we did, we first neutralized that base by using H2SO4, and then we have taken the test for the AgNO3. From that we got the exactly whether the Cl minus contamination is occur or not. So in this way we synthesized the ionic liquids, and this is the ion exchange column. So Cl minus ions are replaced with the OH minus ions by using NaOH. After complete replacement, we used that column for the transfer of this BMIM Br to BMIM OH, and after formation of BMIM OH, we determined the actual concentration of BMIM OH by titrating this with the acid by using phenolphthalein indicator, and after determining the concentration, we have taken equimolar quantities of amino acids and we synthesized the amino acid ionic liquids. We kept these amino acids in the dry box for some time to avoid the contamination. The water content which is present in the amino acid was determined with the help of a Karl Fischer titrator. The density of ionic liquid was determined with the help of a densitometer. First, we validate all the densities which are observed from our instrument with the literature values by using the literature value of water, and we used that to measure the density of different halide groups like NaCl, KCl, KBr, etc. And we try to compare that data with the experimental values with the literature values, and after comparing, after validation only, we used that instrument for the determination of the densities of our ionic liquids. The osmotic coefficient data which is observed for the NaCl in aqueous solution, which is observed from our instrument, is compared with the experimental data which is available in the literature for the validity of data. Chapter 3, density and sound speed study of hydration of 1-butyl 3-methyl imidazolium based amino acid ionic liquids in aqueous solutions. This work was published in Journal of Chemical Thermodynamics. Then objective of work in this chapter: First objective is to determine the osmotropic and cheotropic nature of an amino acid ionic liquid, to investigate the impact of amino acid ionic liquids on water structure in aqueous solution, utilize density data across the temperature from 293.15 Kelvin to 313.15 Kelvin to calculate apparent molar volume, apparent molar compressibility data. We are examine the BV parameter to assess the water structure making and water structure breaking effect of amino acid ionic liquids, evaluate apparent molar compressibility and hydration number from the sound velocity data, to interpret molecular interactions such as ion-ion interaction, ion-solvent interaction, hydrophobic interactions in aqueous solutions from the observed data, the link of thermodynamic parameters to the osmotrop and cheotropic effect, and shedding light on hydration behavior, water structuring behavior of water. So first we measured the densities of amino acid ionic liquids at different temperatures, that is from 293.15 Kelvin to 313.15 Kelvin with the variation of 5 degree, and we changed the concentration of amino acid ionic liquids, and we determined the values of apparent molar volume, partial molar volume of a solute, partial molar volume of a solvent, and we determined the compressibility of liquid also. This is the variation for the apparent molar volume with the concentration, in which we are observing that the apparent molar volume decreases with the increasing concentration. This indicates the ion-ion concentrations are more favorable as compared to ion-solvent interactions. The ion-ion interactions are favorable because of the hydrophobic interactions. From the data of BV values at different temperatures and at different ionic liquids, it is found that the BV values are more negative, or these values are decreases with increasing the hydrophobicity of anion of ionic liquid. That is, we are using amino acid as an anion, and after increasing the chain length of the anion as we goes from the glycine to alanine to valine to leucine, the BV values are decreases. The BV values are explaining about the ion-ion interaction parameter. So if the BV values are decreases, the ion-ion interactions or hydrophobic interactions are dominant. This is the clear-cut indication that because of increasing hydrophobicity of anion, our interactions are increasing. From the observed data, we find out the change which is observed in the volume as we goes from one amino acid to another amino acid, and compared this with the change which is observed in the ionic liquid. Here we tried to determine the change which is observed in the volume as we goes from the one amino acid to another amino acid, and similarly similar trend is observed in the change which is observed from one amino acid ionic liquid to another amino acid ionic liquids with the use of same ionic liquid as an anion. Only change which is observed in case of leucine and isoleucine, that change was drastical change as compared to the glycine and alanine. So the conclusion is the osmotropic effect of amino acid ionic liquids clearly indicates there is a water structure making effect. The negative excess molar volumes suggests the solute molecules occupies less volume in aqueous solutions as compared to pure state, this supporting dominant ion-ion interactions or hydrophobic interactions. The negative apparent molar compressibility values indicates a significant reduction in the water structural compressibility, implies enhanced water ordering due to presence of amino acid ionic liquids. the observed increase in negativity of study parameter with the hydrocarbon chain length confirms the hydrophobic chain promotes stronger water structure making effect. The higher hydration number of amino acid ionic liquids which are determined from the Pasinsky method as compared to the electrorestricted volume is because of cooperative hydrogen bonding. So the overall effect is the cosmotropic nature of amino acid ionic liquid will be useful for the protein stabilization or protein precipitation, as well as this knowledge, these amino acids ionic liquids can be used in the drug delivery also. Chapter 4 is osmotic and activity coefficient for binary aqueous solutions of 1-butyl-imidazolium based amino acid ionic liquids at 298.15 Kelvin. The objective of work is the use of osmotic coefficient data of amino acid ionic liquids in aqueous medium to evaluate excess and mixing Gibbs free energy in aqueous solutions. The use of heat of solution data from the literature to confirm the water structure and amino acid ionic liquids in aqueous solutions by using excess entropies of solute and solvent. The use of enthalpy entropy compensation, Macmillan-Meyer theory and Pitzer theory to explain about the solute solvent and solute solute interactions. So we determine the osmotic coefficients at different concentrations at 298.15 Kelvin temperature, and from the observed osmotic coefficient data we determine activity of water. This is the observed data. The negative value of excess Gibbs free energy indicates the stabilization of amino acid ionic liquids with increasing concentration. This graph indicates the variation of osmotic coefficient data with the concentration, in which we found that the values of osmotic coefficient shows a deviation from the ideal behavior at higher concentration. The deviation which is observed at higher concentration because of ion-ion interactions, and these ion-ion interactions are dominant with increasing the hydrophobicity of anion. That means you can see here, as we move from the glycine to alanine to valine to leucine, the osmotic coefficient values are increases at a higher concentration, and these values are shifted, the minima which is observed in the curve, this minima is shifted towards the lower concentration. Means the aggregation behavior of amino acid ionic liquid which contains the leucine molecule is greater as compared to the glycine molecule because of more hydrophobicity. We used heat of solution data and latent heat data for the determination of entropies for solute and entropies for the solvent by using the various equations. From that data we observed that the entropy change which is observed for the solvent, this entropy change is more negative, means the value of entropy decreases for the solvent molecules, which indicates that water molecules get bind with each other. This supports the water structure making effect. So you can see here the entropy values are decreases with increasing concentration, which confirms the water structure making effect is observed there. In enthalpy entropy compensation we observed the B value is non-zero, which indicates that in the mixing process this contains more microphases which are equilibrium with each other, and the transition from one microphase to another microphase will be possible. We applied Macmillan-Meyer theory for the determination of B22 parameter, NB22 parameters, that is second and third virial coefficients. From that NB22 parameter we are determining the ion-ion interactions. The NB22 parameter which is observed for the amino acid ionic liquids is increases with increasing the hydrophobicity of anion. This clearly indicates that the ion-ion interactions are increases. Up to now we don't know which ions are gathered together, which ions, that is whether the cation-cation, cation-anion or anion-anion, they comes together and they are interacting. We don't have an idea about this up to now. Then what we did, we applied Pizar model, and from the Pizar model we determined the beta 0 and beta 1 values. Beta 0 value explain us about the interaction between the like molecules or like ions, and beta 1 parameter explains about the interaction between the unlike molecules. Means from the beta values we observed that the values of beta 0 increases with increasing hydrophobicity, in which we have taken common cation and we only changed the anions. So whatever may be the change which is observed in the beta 0, this only because of the anion, and these values are increases. This indicates the like interactions are dominant with increasing the hydrophobicity of amino acid ionic liquids. Like interactions mean there is a interaction between anion and anion. So here from the Pizar model we got an idea that the ion-ion interactions which are dominating at higher concentration, these are due to same charges or like charges, and these charges are anions. So anion-anion interactions are increases at a higher concentration as compared to cation-anion and cation-cation interactions. So the conclusion from this is, from osmotic coefficient data of amino acid ionic liquids in aqueous medium, we observed aggregation of amino acid ionic liquids, and ion-ion interactions or hydrophobic interactions are increases with increase in hydrophobicity of anion. As we move from glycine to alanine to phthalate, the hydrophobicity increases and these values are also increases. The negative excess and mixing Gibbs free energy in aqueous solution indicates the dominating hydrophobic interactions. The excess negative entropy of solvent confirms the water structure making effect. The NB22 parameter from McMill-Meyer theory indicates dominating ion-ion interactions, that is there is a formation of ion pairs, and from beta 0 and beta 1 parameter from the Pizar model indicates the like ions interactions, that is between the anion are increases or dominating over the unlike ion interactions between the cation and anion. Chapter 5th is on the transfer partial molar volume of amino acid ionic liquids from water to aqueous solutions containing 0.2 molar of polyethylene glycol 400, polyethylene glycol 600 and polyethylene glycol 1000. The objective of work is to understand interaction between the amino acid ionic liquids and polyethylene glycol 400, 600 and 1000 at 298.15 Kelvin from the density measurements at different concentrations of polyethylene glycols, to know effect of amino acid ionic liquids on structure of polyethylene glycol based on the interactions, to know the actual interactions between the water, imidazolium cation, amino acid anion from the transfer volume and BV parameters, to know the effect of alkyl chain length on amino acid ionic liquids as well as from the polyethylene glycol on the structure making effect and on the biomolecules. So for this study we measured the densities at 298.15 Kelvin, and for this study we varied the concentration of amino acids in a solution, but here we have taken a mixture of polyethylene glycol and water in which we have fixed that concentration, and that concentration is 0.2 molar. So we have taken a 0.2 molar concentration and tried to vary the concentration of amino acid ionic liquids, and we tried to determine what kind of effect is observed there by evaluating the values of phi v, that is the apparent molar volume, partial molar volume of solute and solvent. From this data we observed that the partial molar volume of a solvent will not be vary with the concentration. This is the variation by changing the polyethylene glycol molecules from 400 to 600 to 1000. We found that from the variation at lower concentration the ion solvent interactions are dominant, whereas at higher concentration ion-ion interactions are dominant. From the limiting partial molar volume data and transfer partial molar volume data, it is observed that the values of transfer molar, that is change in the values, are negative. The negative values indicates the molecules, they get compressed, they interact with each other. So some sort of interaction like interactions are taking place in between the polyethylene glycol and amino acid ionic liquids, and these like interactions are increases with increasing hydrophobicity of ionic liquid as well as with increasing the hydrophobicity of a polyethylene glycol. From this we concluded that the values of transfer partial molar volume at infinite dilution are negative and becomes more negative with increasing alkyl chain length on polyethylene glycol as well as amino acid ionic liquids, indicating hydrophobic interactions are favorable, which are essential for the stabilization of protein. The dominating hydrophobic interactions at higher concentration indicates polyethylene glycol and anions of amino acid interacts with the other, hence transfer molar volume will be negative. The transfer volume study indicates dehydration of polyethylene glycol in presence of amino acid ionic liquids, which leads to coiling the polymer. This becomes considered as a model for the understanding of the interactions with the glycoproteins, and by using that study we can say that the amino acid ionic liquids can be used for the protein stabilization, they can be used for the protein precipitation, as well as they can be used for the drug delivery. So the last chapter is about the summary and conclusion. The amino acid ionic liquids, they shows cosmotropic behavior, that is water structure making effect is observed there. So such amino acid ionic liquids can be used for the protein stabilization, for the protein crystallization, or for the protein precipitation. Thank you.
ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते।